Hello friends, welcome to Prashant IAS. So friends, in the last class we were discussing about national emergency, and in this class we will continue our discussion further. So friends, in the last class I told you that if the President of India is satisfied that the security of India is under threat. Okay, so what I told you? So I told you that if the President of India is satisfied that the security of India is under threat, then President of India can proclaim national emergency on the written recommendation given by cabinet. Okay, so what I told you in the last class? So I told you that if the President of India is satisfied that the security of India is under threat on the ground of war, external aggression or armed rebellion, and what happens that cabinet gives written recommendation to President of India to proclaim the national emergency, then President of India under Article 352 of the Indian Constitution will proclaim national emergency. Now friends, here we will assume a hypothetical situation and then I will tell you that what will happen further. So friends, now let us create one imaginary condition. Okay, so this is just an imaginary condition in order to make you understand. So let's suppose that this is India. Okay, so let me draw it more clearly and more properly. So let's suppose that this is India. Okay, and this is any other country. Okay, so now what happened that this other country proclaimed war against India. Okay, so this other country officially proclaimed that we will fight a war against India. Okay, now definitely let's suppose this is some powerful country. Okay, so now let's suppose what happened that on account of this war, now President of India is satisfied that now the security of India is under threat. Why? Because definitely if India will fight war against this country, then security of India will be under threat. And what happened that the cabinet gave written recommendation to the President of India to proclaim the national emergency, and President of India proclaimed national emergency. So now my question is that what will happen after this? Okay, so what is my question? So my question is that what will happen after President of India has proclaimed, after President of India has imposed the national emergency on the country. So now let's see. So friends, once the President of India has proclaimed or imposed the national emergency on the country, then the national emergency. Okay, so what happened that the President of India has proclaimed or imposed the national emergency in the country. Okay, so after the proclamation of President, the national emergency can be continued or national emergency will remain in operation for a maximum duration of 1 month. Okay, so what will happen that if the national emergency is proclaimed by the President of India, then this national emergency will remain in operation for a maximum time duration of 1 month until it is approved by both the houses of parliament. Okay, so what I am saying, are you understanding? Are you getting my point? So I am saying that until the national emergency is not approved by both the houses of parliament, until the national emergency is not approved by Lok Sabha as well as Rajya Sabha, okay, till then national emergency can remain in operation for a maximum duration of 1 month. Okay, so friends, I have told you that once the national emergency is proclaimed by the President of India, then it will remain in operation for a maximum time duration, for a maximum time period of 1 month until it is approved by both the houses of parliament. Okay, now what does it mean and what is the deeper meaning of this statement? Okay, so now we need to know that what is the deeper meaning of this statement. So friends, this statement basically means that once the national emergency is proclaimed by the President of India, okay, once the national emergency is proclaimed by the President of India, then this national emergency must be approved by both the houses of parliament within 1 month. Okay, so this is the deeper meaning of this statement, that once the national emergency is proclaimed by the President of India. Once the national emergency is imposed by the President of India in the country, then this national emergency must be approved by both the houses of parliament within a time period of 1 month. And if this national emergency is not approved, okay, so listen to my words carefully. If this national emergency is not approved by both the houses of parliament within a time period of 1 month, then this national emergency will be lapsed after 1 month. Okay, so what will happen? I am again repeating the statement. So once the national emergency is imposed by the President of India, then this national emergency must be approved by both the houses of parliament within a time period of 1 month. And if this national emergency is not approved by parliament within a time period of 1 month, then this national emergency will be lapsed. Okay, means then this national emergency will be over, then this national emergency will be ended. Okay, so this is the meaning of this statement. So now here I told you the significance of the approval of national emergency by the houses of parliament. So the approval of national emergency is so much significant by the houses of parliament. The approval of national emergency is so much important by the houses of parliament that if both the houses of parliament do not approve the national emergency within a time period of 1 month, then this national emergency will be lapsed. Okay, so here we need to know that what is the process of the approval of national emergency by the parliament. Okay, so I told you that the approval of national emergency by the parliament is very very important, because if national emergency is not approved by the parliament within 1 month, then it will be lapsed. So if you want to continue, if government wants to continue national emergency beyond the period of 1 month, if government want to continue national emergency beyond the period of 1 month, then its approval by the parliament is necessary, then its approval by the parliament is mandatory. So friends, now we will discuss about the process of the approval of national emergency in parliament. So friends, now let's see that how the national emergency is approved by the parliament. So what happens friends, that once the national emergency is proclaimed by the President of India, then there is a need that this national emergency must be approved by both the houses of parliament. Okay, so now which are the two houses of parliament? So I have told you in the previous classes that there are two houses of parliament in India. Lower house is called as Lok Sabha and upper house is called as Rajya Sabha. Okay, so now there is a need that this national emergency must be approved by Lok Sabha as well as Rajya Sabha. Okay, so now what happens, that the national emergency is approved by Lok Sabha as well as by Rajya Sabha by a special majority. Okay, so what happens, that the national emergency is approved by Lok Sabha as well as by Rajya Sabha by a special majority of 2/3 of the members. Okay, 2/3 of the members present and voting, and plus the absolute majority of the house. Okay, now friends, in the class of majorities, okay, means in the class in which I taught you about the concept of majority in detail, in that class I taught you about this type of majority also, that there is one special majority which is known as the special majority of 2/3 of the members present and voting, and also the absolute majority of the house. Okay, so the national emergency must be approved by Lok Sabha. The national emergency must be approved by Lok Sabha by a special majority of 2/3 of the members present and voting, and also the absolute majority of the house. Okay, similarly this national emergency must be approved by Rajya Sabha also. This national emergency must be approved by Rajya Sabha also by a special majority of 2/3 of the members present and voting, and also the absolute majority of the house. So friends, what happens, that the process of the passage or the process of approval of national emergency is same in both the houses, Lok Sabha as well as Rajya Sabha. So here we can take the example of any house, and by taking the example of any house, we can understand that how the national emergency is approved in Lok Sabha or how it is approved in Rajya Sabha. Okay, so here for convenience, I am just taking the example of Lok Sabha, and you then just apply this concept on Rajya Sabha, and then you will understand that how the national emergency is actually approved in the houses of parliament. Okay, so I am here taking the example of Lok Sabha, that how the national emergency is approved in Lok Sabha. Okay. So friends, how many members are there in Lok Sabha? So I told you that there are total 543 members in Lok Sabha. So this is the total strength of Lok Sabha. Now let's suppose what happened that on the day of voting, means on the day in which the voting has to take place on the approval of national emergency, on the day on which the voting has to take place for the approval of national emergency, what happened that the 23 members of Lok Sabha were absent. Okay, so what happened that the 23 members of Lok Sabha were absent. So how many members were present? So now you can say that sir, 520 members were present on the day of voting. Okay, now out of these 520 members, 20 members decided that they will not participate in voting. Okay, so they decided that they will not participate in voting. Okay, so how many members are left? 500 members are left. So now you can say that these 500 members were present on the day of voting. Okay, these 500 members were present on the day of voting, and they also participated in voting. So this number will be called as present and voting. So present and voting basically means the members who were present on the day of voting and they also participated in voting. Okay, so now I told you that this must be approved, this national emergency must be approved by a special majority of 2/3 of the members present and voting, and also the absolute majority of the house. Okay, so now first of all calculate that what is the 2/3 of 500. Okay, so we have to calculate here that what is the 2/3 of 500. So when you will calculate the 2/3 of 500, then the result will come as 333.33. Okay, so what is the 2/3 of 500? So 2/3 of 500 is 333.33. And friends, we need a number which is more than this. So which is a number which is more than this? So this number is 334. Okay, so this means that if the national emergency is approved by at least 334 members of Lok Sabha, then this national emergency will be approved. Okay, so now we need which number? We need the support of at least 334 members to approve the national emergency. Now what happened that let's suppose 350 members voted in the support of national emergency, means these 350 members wanted that this national emergency must be approved, and definitely as this 350 is more than 334, so we can say that the national emergency is approved. But friends, here is one more clause. So I told you that this must be approved also by the absolute majority of the house. So what is the absolute majority in Lok Sabha? So there are total 543 members in Lok Sabha, and for calculating the absolute majority in Lok Sabha, we have to multiply this number by 50%. Okay, so we have to calculate 50% of this number. So what is the 50% of 543? So when you will solve this equation, then the result will come as 271.5. And definitely majority means more than this. So what is the number more than 271.5? So this number is 272. Okay, now friends, I told you that the special majority of more than this must be approved, means the national emergency must be approved by a special majority of 2/3 of the members present and voting, and also the absolute majority of the house. Okay, so it means that, okay, so here we have first calculated the special majority of 2/3 of the members present and voting, and it was 334. Okay, so we have calculated the special majority of 2/3 of the members present and voting, and it was 334. And after that we have calculated the absolute majority of the house, and it is 272. Okay, now what does it mean? What does this majority mean? So this majority means that the members supporting, okay, listen to my words carefully, the members supporting the passage of national emergency, the number of such members must be more than both of these numbers. Okay, so what I am saying that when the voting will take place for national emergency, some members will support the approval of national emergency, okay, and some members will oppose the approval of national emergency. Okay, so the members supporting the approval of national emergency, the number of these members should be more than 334 as well as 272. Okay, so now here we can see that this number 350 is more than 334 as well as it is more than 272. So in this case the national emergency will be passed. Okay, so friends, the national emergency will be approved only if the members supporting the approval of national emergency is more than this number as well as it is more than this number. So this is the meaning of this special majority, means the special majority of 2/3 of the members present in voting and also the absolute majority of the house. Okay, now generally what happens that this number is generally more than this number. Okay, means the number of 2/3 of the members present in voting is generally more than absolute majority. Okay, so generally we need not to check absolute majority, but sometimes there is a need to check absolute majority also. For example, let's suppose if the members present are very less. Okay, so I am giving you example for this also so that you can understand it more clearly. So friends, now let's take second example, and based on this second example you will clearly understand the meaning of this majority. Okay, so now let's suppose what happened that on the day of voting, means on the day on which the voting has to take place for the approval of national emergency. Okay, now there are 543 members in Lok Sabha. Okay, now what happened that on the day of voting 143 members were absent. Okay, so what happened that on the day of voting 143 members were absent. So it means that only 350 members, okay, so it means that only 400 members were present on the day of voting. Okay, so how many members were present? Only 400 members were present on the day of voting. Now out of these 400 members, 50 members decided that they will not cast their vote, means only 350 members casted their vote. So it means that these 350 members were present on the day of voting and they also casted their vote. So here the present and voting number is 350. Okay, so what is the number of present and voting? So it is 350. Now first of all we need to calculate 2/3 of 350. Okay, so if we will calculate the 2/3 of 350, then what will be the result? Then result will come as 233.33. Okay, so okay, and we need a number more than this. So we need how much? We need 234. So it means that when 234 members of Lok Sabha will support, when 234 members will Lok Sabha will support the passage of national emergency, then only national emergency will be approved. Okay, now there was one more clause that that this proposal must also be approved by the absolute majority of the house. Now what is the absolute majority in Lok Sabha? So how many members are there in Lok Sabha? We know that 543 members are there in Lok Sabha, and for calculating the absolute majority we have to calculate 50% of that. Okay, so when you will solve this equation, then again the result will come as 271.5, and we need a number more than this, so that number is 272. Okay, so here in this example you can clearly see that the absolute majority of the house is 272, whereas the special majority of 2/3 of the members present in voting is 234. Okay, so now let's suppose what happened that 240 members were in the support of the passage of national emergency. So what happened that 240 members were in the support of the passage of national emergency. Now you can clearly see that 240 is more than 234, but the national emergency will not be passed in this case. Why? Because 240 is less than 272. Okay, so in this case even though 240 is more than 234, but as this is less than 272, so national emergency will not be passed. Okay, so this number must be equal to or more than 272. For example, let's suppose if 280 members were in the support of the passage of national emergency, then definitely 280 is more than 272 as well as it is more than 234. Okay, so now in this case national emergency will be passed. So the clause of absolute majority was inserted so that if less number of members were present and less number of members voted, okay, so that this number, the number of absolute majority, can protect the country from coming under national emergency. Okay, so the clause of absolute majority was inserted so that if less number of members of Lok Sabha were present on the day of voting and the less number of the members of Lok Sabha voted on the day of voting, then what will happen, that the number of special majority will decrease considerably. Okay, so there was a fear that country can come under national emergency unnecessarily. Okay, so there was a fear that government can unnecessarily impose national emergency on the country. Okay, so to overcome this fear, what happened, that the clause of absolute majority was inserted, that even if the number of members of Lok Sabha present and voting was less, even if the number of members of Lok Sabha present and voting is less, then also the clause of absolute majority will protect the country, that at least you need 272 members, at least the support of 272 members of Lok Sabha is needed for the approval of national emergency. Okay, so this is the entire procedure of the passage of national emergency in Lok Sabha. Okay, and the same is the procedure of the passage of national emergency in Rajya Sabha. So friends, in the previous classes, I told you one concept, that after every 5 years, what happens, that the President of India dissolves the Lok Sabha. Okay, so what happens, that President of India dissolves the Lok Sabha. Now what happened, that the 5 years of Lok Sabha is completed. Okay, and what happened, that the president dissolved the Lok Sabha, and now let's suppose okay, so here we are also considering one hypothetical condition. Okay, so now let's suppose what happened, that the Lok Sabha is dissolved in the country. Okay, Lok Sabha is already dissolved in the country. Okay, now in this situation what happened, that any other country proclaimed war against India. Okay, so what happened, that any other country proclaimed war against India. So if any other country will proclaim war against India, then definitely this is a threat to India. And what happened, that the cabinet so what happened, that any other country has proclaimed war against India, and now the President of India is satisfied that there is a need. Okay, now the President of India is satisfied that the security of India is under threat. Okay, so now as President of India is satisfied that the President of India is under threat, so now what President can do, now President will impose national emergency on the country. Okay, so what happened, that President of India proclaimed national emergency in the country. Okay, now in this situation, now I told you that national emergency can be continued for a maximum duration of 1 month. National emergency can be continued for a maximum duration of 1 month. Okay, if it is not approved by both the houses of parliament. So if the national emergency is needed beyond the period of 1 month, then it must be approved by both the houses of parliament. But now here you are seeing that as Lok Sabha is already dissolved, so now how this national emergency will be approved by both the houses of parliament? Why? Because Lok Sabha is dissolved and Lok Sabha will be formed after the fresh elections, and elections are yet to happen. So how this national emergency will be approved? Okay, so now let's see that what is the answer to this question. So friends, what will happen in this situation, that now, okay, so I told you that Rajya Sabha is the permanent house. Okay, means Rajya Sabha is never dissolved. Okay, so I told you in the previous classes that the Rajya Sabha is permanent house. Rajya Sabha never dissolves. So what will happen in this condition, that in this condition this national emergency will be approved by Rajya Sabha only. Okay, so this emergency will be approved by Rajya Sabha only, and if this national emergency gets the approval of Rajya Sabha within up 30 days. Okay, so if this national emergency gets the approval of Rajya Sabha within 30 days, then this national emergency will continue to be in operation beyond the period of 30 days also. Okay, so what will happen, that if Lok Sabha is already dissolved in the country and if the President of India has proclaimed national emergency, then this national emergency must be approved by Rajya Sabha only within a period of 1 month. This national emergency must be approved by Rajya Sabha only within a period of 1 month. And if this national emergency is approved by Rajya Sabha within a period of 1 month, then this national emergency can continue even beyond the period of 1 month also. Okay, so this national emergency will continue to be in operation after 1 month also. Okay, now friends, what will happen further? Okay, so now let's suppose what happened, that elections took place, okay, and the new Lok Sabha was constituted. So what happened, that elections took place and new Lok Sabha was constituted. So now once the new Lok Sabha is formed, okay, once the new Lok Sabha is formed, now this Lok Sabha has to approve the national emergency within 30 days of its first sitting. Okay, so what will happen, that the elections will take place and after elections the new Lok Sabha will be formed. Okay, and once the Lok Sabha is formed, then it will also conduct its first sitting, it will also conduct its first meeting. Okay, so now what is the provision in the constitution, that once this new Lok Sabha is formed, so now this Lok Sabha has to approve the national emergency within 30 days of its first sitting. Okay, now Lok Sabha has to approve the national emergency within 30 days of its first sitting. Okay, and if Lok Sabha will not do that, then what will happen, then definitely the national emergency will be lapsed. Okay, so now can you tell me that if Lok Sabha is dissolved and if President proclaims national emergency in this condition, then what are the provisions in the constitution? So if Lok Sabha is already dissolved and if President of India proclaims the national emergency, then in this condition this national emergency is approved by Rajya Sabha only within a period of 1 month. Okay, and if this national emergency is approved by only Rajya Sabha, then also it will continue beyond the period of 1 month. And once the new Lok Sabha is formed, then it has to approve this national emergency within a period of 30 days from the date of its first sitting. Okay. Now friends, after this the next question is that let's suppose the national emergency is approved by both the houses of parliament, Lok Sabha as well as Rajya Sabha. Okay, now after the approval of national emergency by both the houses of parliament, for what duration, for how much duration national emergency can remain in operation? Okay, so what is my question? So my question is that when the national emergency is approved by both the houses of parliament, so after its approval, for how much duration it can remain in operation? Okay. So friends, the answer to this question is that once the national emergency is approved by both the houses of parliament, then it can remain in operation for a maximum duration of 6 months. Okay, so what happens, that once the national emergency is approved by Lok Sabha as well as it is approved by Rajya Sabha, then it can remain in operation for a maximum duration of 6 months. Now friends, let's suppose that if India is in war with any other country, now we know that war can go beyond 6 months also, war can go for 1 year also. Okay, so now the question is that if the national emergency is approved by Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha, then it remains in operation for a period of 6 months. But if there is a need to continue national emergency beyond the period of 6 months, then what will happen? Okay, so what are the provisions in the constitution, that if there is a need to continue the national emergency beyond the period of 6 months? So what happens friends, if there is a need to continue national emergency beyond the period of 6 months, then this national emergency must be approved again. Okay, then this national emergency must be approved again by both the houses of parliament in the similar way that I have explained you in this class. Okay, so now what will happen, that again Lok Sabha will approve the national emergency by the special majority of more than 2/3 of the members present in voting and also the absolute majority of the house, and similarly the Rajya Sabha will also approve the national emergency by the special majority of 2/3 of the members present in voting and also the absolute majority of the house. And once this absolute majority is again approved by both the houses of parliament, then it can remain in operation for next 6 months also. Okay, so what is the provision in the constitution? So according to the Constitution of India, if there is a need to continue national emergency beyond a period of 6 months, then it must be approved by both the houses of parliament again. It must be approved again in similar way by both the houses of parliament. So friends, that's all for today. I hope that you all must have enjoyed the lecture, and if you have enjoyed the lecture, then please like the video, comment, subscribe the channel, press the bell icon and select all. Now friends, we will meet in next class and we will continue our discussion with national emergency. Okay, so friends, till then, stay indoors, stay healthy, take care of yourself. Thank you.